Do you have that Pink Floyd album that's supposed to sync up to The Wizard of Oz if you press play on the second line roar? Kind of works, but only as much as if you played Metallica or the Backstreet Boys against the film.
Yeah, left me to the back.
Thanks.
Laugh at Christian rock, but you're only making God angrier. And Christ is only going to turn the other cheek so much at your smart-ass comments before he slaps you upside your head. So how did all this Jesus pop come to pass? A nun from a Belgian religious order, Sister Janine Decker, took the name The Singing Nun and hit #1 in the USA in 1963 with Dominique. She was a controversial nun, and other of her songs was Glory Be to God for the Golden Pill, a pro-birth control anthem. Australia had its own guitar strumming nun. In 1974, Sister Janet Mead hit #3 in Australia and #4 in America with the Lord's Prayer. Now, if you think the Christian record industry consists of little more than a couple of Bible story cassettes at the Catholic bookshop, you're way off the mark. In the year 2000, Christian music accounted for 7% of sales in the American music industry. That's $747 million US. Australia also has its finger in the pie. Or loaf, if you will. Queensland's newsboys don't make it to video hits too often, but they always make it to the BRW Rich List. In 1999, they grossed more than AC/DC and Silverchair combined. All the major labels from Sony to Virgin EMI have Christian music divisions. There's DC Talk with Jesus Freak. There's Super Chick and their pro-abstinence song, Barlow Girl.
No girl should feel she has to trade her body for love or be an old maid. And yes, there are guys who are willing to wait.
Then there's Jump 5 with Spinning Around, going for the Christian S Club 7 angle. And cute boy band +1 with God is in this place. Clearly the Christians are onto a good thing. So why aren't other religious denominations getting with the program? I decided to get my own boy band together, Jewtown, with their debut single, Down to Jewtown.
Down, 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 down to Jewtown. Often ask me what's this cap up on my skull. I see the Bible said to put one there so I won't go to hell. And people step up to me and they tell me eat this big. But if the rules ain't split then it ain't legit, and that's how I choose to live. In a world of non-believers who drive on Saturday, don't forget it's our day of rest, so when the right path just turn away. I'm not some big old rabbi in a black hat and a gown, but we are the youth, we can make a change. It's time to get on down. I'm going down, 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 down to Jewtown. What I gotta do now? Down to Jewtown. I'm going down, 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 down to Jewtown. Gotta be true now. Head down to Jewtown. Yeah. Run and ask me why you read from right to left. I say it's not that complicated, it's the Hebrew alphabet. And Christians wanna ask me how you different to our people. I say I like Bible #1, but I will not touch a sequel. Yeah. And it's crazy makes the world where sinners all the rage. You gotta take that Torah off the shelf and read every page. Take what you learn at synagogue, spread the word downtown, where Jews on the streets kicking out beats, and it's time to get on down. I'm going down, 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 down to Jewtown.
Passover week, you be careful with wheat. It's bread unleavened, 24/7.
Could Jewtown cut it in the marketplace? I sent a demo tape, a video clip and a bio to big American Christian label Floodgate Records, who have acts like East West, Rita Springer and Dennis and Mars. The president of the label, Tim Tabor, agreed to give Jewtown some feedback. So you got the Jewtown video, what did you think?
I enjoyed it quite a bit. Where did you find Jewtown?
They're quite big in the Australian underground Jewish scene.
Uh-huh.
You must get tons of demos there at Floodgate though. How did Jewtown measure up?
You know, sonically, I thought they were on the right track, and the look and the dance moves and whatever were fine. You know, I don't think it's up to like the NSYNC level of perfection, but they sure didn't suck.
So from an A&R perspective, how do you think Jewtown could improve?
If Jewtown had some really loud guitars, I mean, they might cross over to the whole Korn, you know, Rage Against the Machine audience.
Now, the religious differences won't be a problem with getting a record deal with Floodgate, I assume?
Where we're at, it'd have to be Jesus is God.
But isn't it the same God?
Yeah, there's an argument for that. Obviously, the Jewish faith prior to Jesus was the same God. I think the difference is that Christians accept Christ as, you know, the Savior.
There's lots of Christians with different beliefs. Like, is everyone allowed on your label?
Yeah, we're open to whatever Christians. We don't have to be a specific denomination.
What about Catholics?
Catholics might be allowed on my label. We don't have any Catholics yet, but come on, Catholics, send in your demo tapes.
What about Jehovah's Witnesses or Mormons or Christian Science reading room people?
And personally, I don't really consider Jehovah's Witnesses or Mormons or I don't know what else you said, but as Christians, I think there's some fundamental differences. So no, we wouldn't be signing those artists on our label.
What if Jewtown converted?
Yeah, I mean, then I believe they would be accepted in the Christian market if that's something that they personally wanted to do. Obviously, you wouldn't want to do that for a record deal.
Because I can talk to the guys. I mean, I'm not sure how important the whole Jewish thing is to them anyway.
Well, like, if they were, like, Jews that had accepted Jesus Christ as their personal savior, like, there's Jewish people that have accepted Christ. I mean, yeah, I mean, that'd be a step in the right direction to doing a Christian record deal.
So unless they convert, you don't see much of a future for Jewtown?
Maybe it appeals to, like, a narrow demographic of the 13-year-old Jewish kids, but they're going to be hard to have some widespread appeal.
So no Jews, no Mormons, but Catholics maybe?
Yeah,
so the vibe I'm getting is you're not interested in signing Jewtown.
No, we would not consider taking on Jewtown. Obviously, there's the faith barrier to overcome, but they're just not something that I'm looking to sign right now.
I'm going down, 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 Jewtown.
Catholics can send their demos to Floodgate Records, 14151 Newport Avenue, Suite 203, Tustin, California, zip code 92780.
I didn't always work 9 to 5. In my youth, I was frontman for seminal urban Australian hip-hop group, or posse if you will, Raspberry Cordial. Formed in 1990, or as I like to refer to the era, Year 12, Cordial was a funky two-piece, consisting of Chris Lumsden on keyboards and computer, and myself up front, with the skills to pay the bills, delivering the rhymes. My good friend George Weinberg played drums for one rehearsal, but then I thought, what the heck, let's just get a drum machine. The magic was about to happen. By first year uni, we'd already cut our first cassette, the classic Melbourne Tram.
In the morning, I fall out of bed. I get my school bag together to the tram stop I head. I arrive at the stop at 20 to 8. No surprises, the tram is late. I can't recall it ever.
Clearly we were on our way. We went on to win the 1992 RMIT Battle of the Band competition. Sadly, we then lost the state finals against a bunch of shoegazing, grunge guitar strumming, no hair shampooing Nirvana wannabes who sadly didn't take their emulation of Kurt Cobain to its logical conclusion. Despite the setback, we secured a deal with the state government-funded Push Youth Music Initiative and put out our debut CD. One local station, 89.9 Hits FM, put it on rotation, and it spent a number of weeks in their top 10 request chart. I once tried to ring up and vote for it myself, and the girl at the other end of the line recognised my voice. I hung up fast. We hit the road, playing gigs at the Punters Club, the Tote, some pub in Geelong and some school in Shepparton. Unfortunately, we never played the same place twice. Tensions began to develop between Chris and me when his mother took me aside and suggested that perhaps I was taking up too much of the limelight and maybe I should develop some back and forth banter with Chris in between the songs. I said I'd take it on board. Then doubts about the whole band thing began to escalate when some Melbourne University media studies students who'd been working on a Raspberry Cordial music video pulled out without explanation, obviously eating into their bucket bong time. Then the only A&R guy in the whole record industry who had shown any interest in us whatsoever was fired from Sony. Then the final nail in the coffin. We played RMIT Orientation Day supporting the Sharp, and people threw plastic beer cups at us. Then the final straw on the nail, in the cherry, on the cake, in the coffin. Whilst my girlfriend of 2.5 years was dumping me, in a throwaway line in her breakup diatribe, she mentioned that the band was really embarrassing and that people were laughing at me behind my back. At 7 in the morning, I jump out of bed. I get my school bag together, to the tram, stop ahead. I arrive. Anyway, the point I'm getting at is I know what it's like being in a band on the road. The touring, the sweat, the endless grind of entertaining a pack of ungrateful plastic beer cup throwing freaks. And for what? I know you've probably heard of the over-the-top, no expenses spared, hedonistic, pampering to every whim treatment rock stars receive whilst on the road. Like Cher with her fruit platter, her 10 bottles of Poland spring water, her 8-foot table covered with white tablecloth and large assortment of fresh-cut lilies and gardenias. Or the Red Hot Chili Peppers with their basket of rice cakes, their 1 quart of fresh natural papaya juice, their small bowl of whole pitted dates and figs, and their freshly cut ginger root. Well, let me tell you, there was no fruit platter for Raspberry Cordial, no cheese platter, no small bowl of whole pitted dates, and not even one solitary freshly cut ginger root. You know what Raspberry Cordial got? 2 free drinks from the bar. No spirits. If I had 3 drinks, the third was deducted from our $60 performance fee. Now, even though Raspberry Cordial was snuffed out by a snide remark by an ex-girlfriend who incidentally straight away started going out with another guy which she married in 6 months, I will never forget how much I would have appreciated a bit of backstage pampering in the manner of which I was unaccustomed. So I decided to do something about it. With the Rockstar Rider Ring of Reward, I intend to give some of the lesser-known musicians in this country the chance to live backstage like the stars. I'm here at St Silas Anglican Church. It's Sunday morning, and behind me, playing pipe organ, is Hugh McGrath. He is 65 years old and has been playing church organ for over 40 years. He is yet to find out that he is a Rockstar Rider Ring of Reward recipient. Congratulations, Hugh. You are a Rockstar Rider Ring of Reward recipient. Please come over and rotate the Ring of Reward. You have received Britney Spears Backstage Rider. Roadies! This is what you have received. 12 bottles of Evian water. 1 litre. Iron and ironing board. Very large white bath towel. 1 fruit tray. 1 vegetable tray. 1 large bowl of fresh pot of lemon honey tea. 1 gallon of apple juice. Of orange. 1 gallon of grape juice. 1 gallon of cranberries of Pop-Tart. Box of Fruit Loops. And 6 cans of Coke. Congratulations on being a Rockstar Rider Ring of Reward recipient.
Thank you very much. That's very nice. What am I going to do with it?
Family Centre. Behind that door are the Jelly Bugs, a high-energy musical group who cater kindergarten and childcare market. Their first gig was in 1997, and since then they've played everywhere from Darwin to Horsham. They've also released 2 sunscreen protection songs. Congratulations, Jellybugs. You are Rockstar Rider, Ring of Reward receivers. Where the ring lands, you win that musician's backstage rider. You have number 6, Christina Aguilera. 10 bottles of room temperature, variety of tea, herbal. We have 6-pack Coke, no Pepsi, Carnation instant breakfast original malt. We have 1 litre full-fat organic soy milk, contain canola oil. 1 small fruit platter, must be organic. We have 1 small veggie tray with carrots, cherries, tomatoes. 1 bottle of Flintstone vitamins, 1 small cheese platter, and 1 roll of film. Please dig in to your ring of reward.
Jellybugs, well done. Cheers.
And now I'm here at the parents' house of Chris Lumsden, the other half of seminal Melbourne hip-hop act Raspberry Cordial. Finally, we'll be getting what we so richly deserved. Chris, congratulations! You're a Rockstar Rider, Ring of Reward recipient. You have won the backstage rider of the Goo Goo Dolls, Roadies. Chris, this is what we never had at the Tote, what we never had at the Punters Club, what we never had when we played that school in Shepparton. You win coffee and tea with coffee mugs, £1 package of Mr. Turkey, package of Swiss sliced cheese, a large loaf of whole grain bread, peanut butter and fresh basket of assorted organic whole vegetable tray with carrots, celery, 6 bottles of water, 6 bottles of 1 quart of fresh squeezed orange juice, of new white 2 packets of Marlboro Red cigarettes and a 6-pack of Coke. Oh, it does. Brought along some of the articles, some of the press that Raspberry Cordial got. Pushover 93, the ultimate all-ages event. Featuring Hoodoo Gurus, really big print, John Stevens, slightly smaller print, but still pretty big. Finally, in really small print, we have Murray Wilson and Raspberry Cordial. It never really made it big. It kind of fizzled out a bit after taste test. I actually remember why it fizzled out. I don't want to get into it when, I don't want to mention her name, but you know who, when she broke up with me and she kind of, you know, just kind of fizzled out after that. But you know, whatever. If that's what she feels, that's the thing.
No, it's okay.
Did you know the state government Push Youth Music Initiative had to crush over 400 copies of Raspberry Cordial's debut CD after only 93 were sold?
He knows the inner secrets of the music industry, but for fear of retribution, he must hide his identity. He is the music mole.
John, did you know that Australian music video directors almost always work for nothing for the major labels?
But surely directing music videos is a highly lucrative and glamorous vocation, Mr. Mole.
Well, sure, if you're lucky enough to work overseas with a budget of a couple of $100,000.
Why, what happens in Australia?
Well, Australian budgets range from $2,000 to, at the top end, $20,000 and $30,000. Now, at that price, the director can pay for a camera, equipment, pay a crew probably half of what they'd earn if they were doing a feature film or a telecommercial. Then there's no money left over to pay themselves.
So why would directors work for free?
Well, most of the clips in Australia are directed by young, fresh-faced kids straight out of film school, and they're quite flattered when a major label asks them to direct a video clip. So they make a few, and then when the novelty of working for nothing's worn off, they move on.
That sounds all a bit chew 'em up and spit 'em out.
Yeah, and they're getting a bit pissed off because when an Australian band does become successful enough to warrant a big-budget video for the overseas market, Australian directors are not getting the jobs. Instead, they're going to some hotshot from America or England. So the Australian directors are saying to the labels, well, thanks a lot. I'm good enough to work for you for nothing, but as soon as there's money involved, you get somebody from overseas.
Can't believe they don't think Australian directors are good enough to work on big-budget music videos. I could easily have knocked together Michael Jackson's Thriller in an afternoon.
I know you could, John.
Thank you, Mr. Mole.
No problem.
If you check out the new Silverchair album, you'll see the name Van Dyke Parks listed as a musical collaborator in the credits. When he was flown over from America for the album, much was made of his past work with Ry Cooder, Tim Buckley and the Beach Boys. This all sounds pretty impressive. But the bit in his CV that they didn't exactly highlight in fluorotexter was that this was the same Van Dyke Parks who in 1968 released Song Cycle. His fans would say it was bold and experimental. His critics would say it was pretentious and boring as fuck. Whatever the case, it was the most expensive album ever produced up until that point in time, and arguably, adjusting for inflation, the most expensive flop in the history of recorded music. How big a flop? Well, his record label Warner's went into damage control and launched a real weird ad campaign claiming Van Dyke Parks was just too much of a genius for the riffraff to understand. In one full-page ad in 1969, they came clean about the amount of money they'd lost, but reassured the public it wasn't about the money. They were thrusting the album onto the public as a community service. You should buy it for you.
Don't do it out of worry for us. We're selling enough Peter, Paul, and Mary, and Mason Williams, and Ron McEwen. We don't need your bucks.
Strangely enough, this tactic failed to move units. Time for Plan B. Once again, a full-page ad. This time they offered a once-in-a-lifetime Van Dyke Parks 1-cent sale. The arrogant premise behind this was that the all-too-few people who had bought it had played it so often that they'd worn it out. Thus, send in your worn-down copy with a penny and Warner's will send you 2 new copies. One for you and one for a friend who isn't as enlightened and superior as you. You know, I used to think that Van Dyke Parks was a deluded, self-aggrandising, living in la-la land, pathetic little man who just couldn't face up to the fact that he put out a record that no one wanted to listen to. But, sitting here reflecting on my own musical career with Raspberry Cordial, I'm beginning to realise the guy had a point. Sometimes the general public is just too stupid to appreciate musical genius. Which is why I'm happy to announce the Raspberry Cordial Melbourne Tram cassette 2-for-1 offer. Simply send in your worn-out copy of Melbourne Tram with 1 cent and I'll send you 2 brand new copies. One for you and one for an unenlightened friend. Plus, an essay written by myself on why my music was so misunderstood ahead of its time and rejected by the masses, entitled Everyone Else is Stupid, the Van Dyke Parks and Raspberry Cordial story.
The Raspberry Cordial Melbourne Tram 2-for-1 offer. Actually make it 3-for-1. John's got a bedroom full of these unsold babies.
The Republic of Guinea, located next to the Ivory Coast, or Côte d'Ivoire, in the heart of West Africa. Also the heart of musical delights, Dr. Jordania.
Hello, John.
I believe you want to talk about the balafone today.
Yes, that's one of the very interesting instruments from Africa. Actually, a prototype of a xylophone. It's tuned in a quite a unique way. It has 7 notes, as in European, the scale. These are all equal intervals between them, so that's quite unique. You can only see this in gamelan. Not anyone can play. Say there are 2 rules. It should be a professional musician, and another one, it should be a male.
Thank you, Dr. Jordania.
Thank you.
Now to demonstrate the instruments of West Africa, Ross Wilson with Eagle Rock.
Now listen, we're stepping out. Gonna turn you around. Turn you around once and we'll do the eagle rock. Come on, your rock is fine. Give me one sign. Just one sign, we'll do the eagle rock. Hey, hey, good old eagle rock's here to stay. I'm just crazy about the way we move. Doing the eagle rock. Oh, oh, oh. Come on fast, you can come on slow. I'm just crazy about the way we move. Doing the eagle rock. Let's rock. Come back again. I'm just crazy about you, babe. Say, come back again. I'm just crazy about you, babe. Now listen, we're stepping out. I'm gonna turn you around. I'm gonna turn you around once. Do the Eagle Rock, yeah. Hey, good old Eagle Rock's here to stay. I'm just crazy about the way we move. Do the Eagle Rock. Oh, come on fast, you can come on slow. I'm just crazy about the way we move. Do the Eagle Rock. I said we're doing the Eagle Rock, yeah. Do it.